Welcome to our eLabFTW release video. In this video, we will show you the most important new features and improvements in versions 5.4 and 5.5. Let's get started. We are now on the eLabFTW dashboard. We have made several improvements to the eLabFTW user interface to make it more flexible and easier to use. We have also added a new option for changing the appearance of the software, dark mode. You can switch between light and dark mode via the menu at the top right corner. We also refined the visual elements of the interface to offer better contrast in dark mode and more consistent button styling. These changes make it more comfortable to work in various different lighting conditions. Creating entries has become much easier as we have completely redesigned the Modal window. Now, the same Modal window is used to create experiments, resources, and their corresponding templates. When you open the Modal window, it will first ask you to select the type of entry you would like to create and to input a title. From here, you can either directly create a blank entry or select from a template to pre-fill your entry. You can also just type your title and press Enter to quickly create a new entry. Additionally, we've added a new Create menu in the top right corner of the page, so you can open this Modal window from anywhere in eLabFTW. The index pages for the resource and experiment entries have been reworked. Entries no longer take up the full screen width, and the buttons and text have been reorganized for clarity. You'll also notice that the last modification date is now displayed for each entry. The owner filter has also been improved. Archived users are now hidden by default, but you can toggle this option to show them if needed. The category and status drop-down menus have also been upgraded. You can now browse entries from other teams by category and status. Entries from other teams are only visible if they are not marked as private. This change makes it much easier to find entries across teams without having to wait for assistance from an admin. Let's now take a closer look at the file exports. Some users have experiment entries that are linked to resource entries, which are in turn linked to compounds. You can now export a list of compounds used over a specific period of time from your profile page. This is especially useful for tracking the usage of hazardous materials. Additionally, version 5.4 features a new integration with DSpace. Users can now push entries directly to a DSpace repository. A sysadmin must first configure the remote repository in the sysconfig panel. Finally, PDF exports have also been improved. Incoming links are now included in PDF exports, making exported records more complete and easier to trace. Another useful new feature is the ability to lock steps in a template. Locked steps cannot be moved or edited in entries created from that template. This helps to ensure that important parts of a workflow remain consistent. Traceability has also been improved. The changelog can now record the type of entity that an entry was created from, including the source ID. Furthermore, when content is restored from a revision, this action is now also recorded in the changelog. The scheduler features an important improvement. Admins can now define the maximum number of days in advance that users can make bookings. This makes it easier to manage resource availability and prevents excessively early reservations. Another useful addition is that booking permissions for resources can now be updated in bulk. This is especially helpful for teams with a large number of bookable resources. One important change is the removal of Open Science mode. This mode, which previously allowed anonymous users to access public teams directly, has been discontinued. For sysadmins, several new tools and improvements have been added. First, usage charts are now available in the sysconfig panel. There's also a new Open Metrics endpoint, which is accessible at /metrics. This can be used with monitoring software like Prometheus and later visualized in Grafana. SAML authentication has also been improved. Identity providers can now have multiple certificates and multiple SSO and SLO endpoints. This is backward compatible, but we recommend testing it in a pre-production environment. Finally, version 5.4 permits customized branding. Sysadmins can now customize the logo and favicon, making it easier to adapt eLabFTW to their institution or organization. We've reached the end of our tour of the new features in eLabFTW. Here is a summary of the most important new features. If you want to review this list, you can pause the video now. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us or leave a comment. See you next time.